what's up guys, my name is Zach and today I'm going to be doing a video mostly talking while I do some errands about reviewing cars. Now first and foremost, I don't want this to come off as I'm saying that I'm a great reviewer or the fact that I think I have all the answers or whatnot. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that I know it's hard to kind of break into YouTube or figuring out where to start when you want to make YouTube videos. I know that because that's how I was. I always wanted to make YouTube videos and I always wanted to, review cars and whatnot, and I never really knew where to start. So hopefully if you guys watching this are looking to get into reviewing cars or whatnot, or just making YouTube videos, I hope this kind of gives you a little starting point for your videos. So that being said, I've reviewed 54 different cars, ranging from the Dodge Hellcat, which is about $75,000 to $80,000, especially with the mods done to it, to I reviewed a $700 BMW that was horrifying. So I've gotten a lot of different experiences, which is absolutely awesome. I'm going to share with you guys how I did that. So number one is camera equipment. I use a GoPro Hero 5 Black and a Zoom microphone. That's actually what I'm filming with right now. So this probably looks like the exact same angle and will sound the same as a car review, but obviously I'm not reviewing my G6. I already did that, but I'll get more to that in a second. But the camera quality should be good, but don't focus on that. Don't spend all of your money and all of your focus. That's my friend Andrew. All of your focus trying to get the right and proper camera equipment and whatnot. That shouldn't be your focus. So I would highly recommend the GoPro. It gets a very wide field of view, and I would do a microphone just because the microphone on the stock GoPro isn't great. But if you want to see more about my camera equipment, I made a whole video about that on my channel. Number two is review what you can. Now, I know all of us who review cars, basically our end goal, we want to be like Jeremy Clarkson, right? We want to be ripping on a Koenigsegg down a drag strip or down a runway or whatever. We want to be reviewing the cool cars, right? And that's my goal too. I want to review the latest, greatest cars. That would be a dream of mine. But for right now, I don't have those sorts of assets. So my second tip is review whatever you can. My very first review, like I said I was going to get to, was my G6. This car, actually, was my very first review. I knew I had wanted to do it for quite a while. I knew I wanted to review cars, and I thought about it. And one day I was like, screw it. I'm going to get in the car, I'm going to film myself talking about it, and we're going to see what happens. And if you go back and look at that review, it's not amazing. And I'm willing to admit that is not a great review of that car. And I've thought about redoing it, but I don't know, there's not that much interest. Quick side note, make friends in high school, because I just ran into some high school friends who work at Jimmy John's, and they just hooked me up with 2 free subs. So, side extra tip, make friends. But like I was saying, guys, the G6 that I reviewed was mine. The Chrysler Pacifica I reviewed was my mom's. The truck I reviewed was my dad's. The Durango I reviewed was my brother's. I reviewed both my RX-7s, and then I re-reviewed my RX-7 once it had the 13B in it. The SRXs that I reviewed were my grandparents'. Most of the cars that I review, I'd say a good lot of them, have been friends' cars. Really friends' cars. I haven't besides the ones I listed, I haven't really reviewed any relatives' cars because I don't really talk about my channel all that much. Most of the cars I've reviewed have been friends' cars, and it's all been people offering it up, or if I'll say like, hey, like this is a really unique car or something like that. But basically what I'm saying is just ask around. You don't have to go immediately to a dealership. You're not going to get a press car immediately. And you're not going to be given a Lambo right off the bat. Unless you have a family member with a Lamborghini that just lets you drive it, no one's going to hand you the keys to an expensive car immediately. You got to have some type of portfolio. And that's what those cars do. Is that, yeah, my G6 review, G6s aren't really interesting at all. No one's like clamoring to see what it's like to drive a G6, but that's another number on a page. I mean, I can tell people, hey, I've reviewed 54 different cars, ranging from this to this. And people get interested in that rather than oh, I've only reviewed one car because I've only been able to get a hold of one cool car. You got to focus on the numbers. Honestly, you kind of have to. Tip number 3 is once you get a hold of the cars, don't be afraid to be crucial, but don't berate the owner. So I'm still learning this. I'm still trying to get this down, because when I drive a car, when someone gives me their car, I'm ecstatic that someone's even letting me drive their cool car. Like the Nissan Skyline. Like, that was really cool of Andy to let me drive. But you have to remember that you're reviewing the car. And so you want to point out some flaws. Not every single car is perfect. I know that for a fact. Don't have those rose-colored glasses that everything's perfect. But then again, don't just completely crap on a car. I mean, give it a chance. There's good and bad qualities. Unless your friend says, hey, I got this piece of crap car, you could just rail it in this review, then go for it. But what I'm saying is, you don't want to burn bridges. You don't want to get in someone's car and be like, oh, this is atrocious. Oh, what they did here is awful. What they did here is awful. Sure, it might be awful, but you don't have to openly say that, So point out the bad things, but don't absolutely destroy the car. My next tip would be to cut down, or at least not focus on the artsiness. A lot of reviewers have openings that are very artsy. It's swooping pictures or videos of the car, and they focus on that. And don't focus on that. You have to remember you're reviewing the car. People want to know about the car. They don't want to see it from 1.5 million different angles, and then you don't say anything about it. That's just a music video. So while, yes, outside panning shots and music can be helpful, don't concentrate that. Again, concentrate on talking about the car. You're kind of giving people the experience that they'll never have. Another tip that I have is don't repeat the Wikipedia page. And like I said with all the other tips, I've been guilty of this before. But recently, I've really been trying to focus on talking about what it's like to drive the car, what it's like to feel the car. Again, you're kind of almost providing an experience for people that they wouldn't regularly experience. Like when I drove the Hellcat, a lot of people my age, actually no one I know my age of 19, well, 20 when this video comes out, no one my age that I personally know has driven a Hellcat. So I kind of have the job or the duty of explaining to people what it's like to feel that amount of power, what it's like to drive one of those, a car that a lot of my friends will never get the opportunity to drive. Or take my review of the 1931 Ford Model A. Again, a car that is very rare nowadays, and yeah, it's not powerful, but you kind of have to explain to people, or you have to show people what it's like to drive that car. You have to give them that experience that they would otherwise never have. So what I could say about that is just don't repeat the Wikipedia page and say it has this much power. And I actually try to stay away from power numbers now because a lot of them are exaggerated, or they're at the crank instead of the wheels and all this stuff. I try to stay away from the power number and just focus on what it's like when I jam on the gas. What is that like? Because it's very different in every car. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you take anything away from this video, if you're looking into doing car reviews or even making videos in general, just get out there and do it. There's no way to get better without practicing. And yeah, at first, review your mom's car, review your dad's car, review your brother's, sister's, aunt, uncle's car, whatever car you can get your hands on and people will let you film. Make a review of it, because no, people aren't clamoring. You're not going to make a 1 million view video out of reviewing a 2006 Toyota Camry, but it's going to help you in the long run. It's going to add to your portfolio. It's going to make you a better reviewer, and you can kind of see what's good and what isn't. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys picked up a few tips, but don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys. There goes a sight from my soul.